Let's go, boys!
There's a lot of excitement surrounding this year's team. There are a lot of maybe familiar faces, but in some different roles, and then there are some very unfamiliar faces. So it's been very much a move forward kind of atmosphere. You know, put the past in the past, put that behind us, move forward, and it's been a very process-driven environment. We've tried to focus on the things that it takes to be successful, not necessarily the outcome. You know, defensively this year, we think it's a pretty athletic group. I mean, Jack Riley, 6'4", 215, he runs very well, big, strong, rangy. You look at Mike Pellegrino. Mike, while undersized, is athletic, quick, aggressive. It's very much his personality. James Malm, a senior captain and now a second-year starter at the short stick, is an athletic young man. And our middies, Rob Guida, Rex Sanders, Connor Reed. It's an athletic group, so it does provide us with a bit of versatility and allows us to maybe not give our opponent a steady diet of one thing. You know, we may be able to press out on a couple of different occasions. We may be able to be a little bit more aggressive in the ride. We may be able to zone, but be more aggressive in the zone, knowing where our backup comes from. So the one thing that's stands out about this group is our ability to be a bit more versatile with them in terms of getting out a little bit more and getting after some people.
You know, I think the dynamic of the team, I really feel we thrive off our defense and the energy we bring coming out to practice. I really feel that defense is the heart of the team this year and that we can really push the offense to be great. We are a lot stronger and we're a lot hungrier, you know, just because we don't have a lot of name guys. So we're all no-name guys, much hungrier than anybody else out there.
Eric Steiner, like many of our guys this year, did have an opportunity at some point in time to start last year. You know, we had a bunch of different guys start in different games, and hopefully that will benefit us this year. They have that experience. And Eric's one of those guys, you know, I've said before, when we sent him home for the summer and said, listen, it's your job to keep or to lose, you knew Eric Steiner was going home. He was giving you everything he had. He was going to work hard. He was going to work on his technique. He was going to do the things necessary to be the starting goalie at Johns Hopkins.
Yeah, what's great is, you know, I've been here for 3 years and I'm a senior and I've seen Pierce do it for 3 years, and, you know, coach has definitely given me great confidence to step right in, and I just feel comfortable where I am and, you know, leading this defense. There's a lot of new faces and a lot of hungry guys you maybe not have heard of, but, you know, we're one unit this year. A lot of guys are working really hard and learning the defense and getting a good understanding of our opponents, and I think we're gonna surprise some people.
Our attack this year is probably as slick as we've had since we've been here, you know, across the board. Obviously, we've had some pretty talented ones, but I think in general, this one's very slick. They're very good around the goal. They possess a very strong IQ. I mean, when you look at those three, those are probably three of our smarter players. They possess a much more dynamic understanding of the offense. So we feel very good about that thus far in our scrimmages. They've been very productive. You know, the feeling is we need to be a little bit more productive elsewhere, but I think they've been extraordinarily productive for us and a very positive part of our offense thus far this year. And at the midfield, we feel like we look very different. I mean, if you just looked at heights and weights from this year to last year, there's a dramatic difference. The midfielders are a little bit smaller, a little bit quicker, maybe a little bit more skilled. So some of the things that we're doing offensively, we feel like are tailor-made for them. One of those guys, you know, that's going to be a staple at that area is Rob Guida. Rob is a guy that was a second-team All-American. He's one of our captains. He's a leader. He's a two-way midi. He's a guy that can play both ends of the field, can really create in transition, very solid off the wings. The hope is that we won't have to use him as much on the wings, and we'll be able to use him a little bit more in the offensive end, both at midfield and maybe a little bit at the attack.
It's definitely a different perspective as a senior. After being here for about 3.5 years now, you learn a lot from the older guys and, you know, kind of what's expected from this program and from this team. And we're really doing our best this year to you know, teach them the right things and, you know, hopefully do the things we can to have a really successful season. I think the new offense that we have in is really catered to those kind of guys. You know, like you said, they're skilled, they're talented, and I think they're, you know, what we've seen so far, they work really well together, and I think that'll you know, prove to, you know, help us out a lot this season. We're young, and maybe some guys aren't, you know, as used to being on the field, but that's something that as you play more, you'll gain more confidence, and I really see this team, you know, growing throughout the entire year.
The goal is to be tough, to be smart, and to play together. I think those are three things that we need to focus on. We've got to be tougher, and toughness does not only pertain to physical toughness, it pertains to mental toughness. We need to play intelligently. We need to run when we're able to run. We've got to take advantage of those quick strike or early offensive opportunities when they present themselves, so we don't have to just grind it out in a 6-on-6. But then we have also got to be intelligent enough to know when we don't have those, we've exhausted that opportunity, it's not there, and it's time to substitute and settle down and play good 6-on-6. And then we need to play together. If I had to say there's one key for this team, is that they have to have contributions from every guy. And our last guy is every bit as important as our first guy. The critical component for this group is to play very much like a team. That's our avenue to success in 2014.